Grand Rising, everyone, and this is Artists of Truth. So, welcome to my vlog. I greatly appreciate you all tuning in and listening. So, actually, I'm on my way to work to get this busy walk of life up and going. But, so let's get into this topic. All right. Let us get into this topic. And Jada Pinkett Smith had Snoop on her show. Now, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay? Now, I listened to the interview where Jada stated that when I heard what you said, I was like, no, not Snoop. Snoop is taking, his flow power away from me, away from Willow, away from my mother, because of what, because he called Gail a dog-faced bitch. Now, mind you, for every action, there's a reaction, and understand, I'm not any sort of relationship advisor or some psychological analyzer or whatever, but I noticed a particular habit that the media, or should I say, some of the black females have a tendency of doing. Now, what I couldn't understand from Jada was, where in the world did she feel, where in the world did she feel as if her power was taken from her, or her daughter, or her mother, because Snoop responded to Gail's action? Also, what I do notice is a lot of black females who felt that what Snoop said was just like, so heavy, like he called her a dog-faced bitch. And we live in a society where people are so sensitive about, words. All right. My thing is this: words have power only if you are giving power to these words. Okay? Understand this. Words have power only because people give these words power, okay? Just like you will give your energy, your power away to someone being blatantly negative. And the shit happens every day, you know? It's not just, you know, it's not just solely confined to a celebrity, you know? We have a tendency, we like to put celebrities on these high pedestals as if they can do no wrong. It's like, you forgetting, these are human beings at the end of the day. Okay? So for you to try and hold someone, a celebrity, on a pedestal more than you would yourself, that's your problem. You know, that is your problem. No one told you to hold any of these celebrities up on some high, you know, some high horse as if they are saints. Like, these celebrities are not saints, man. Cut that dumb shit out. Wake the fuck up. They want to hold celebrities to these, you know, to these standards that a lot of folks, they're not even holding themselves to the same standards. You know, it's like, oh, well, he called her a dog-faced bitch. I was like, well, shit. So? What you mean? Y'all just sensitive as fuck. You know? I understand, you know, a lot of people feel, you know, or felt, you know, Snoop shouldn't have said that. But look, this is my point. If you're sensitive about a remark that Snoop made, calling a woman, calling Gail, a black female, a dog-faced bitch. If you're sensitive about that, but you are unbothered by the simple fact that young boys are being young boys and young girls are being sexually abused and assaulted. You have more empathy and more sensitivity for an animal than you would a human being. Not only are you ass backwards and sensitive as fuck, but you're sensitive about the wrong, you know, you're being sensitive about the wrong things. Now, if you can feel, you know, if you're solely focusing on the dog-faced bitch and nothing more, then you'll never understand exactly how Gail's questions and the continuation of these questions in the wake of Kobe Bryant's death, if you don't feel that was untimely, you know, it was not the right time to ask those questions. If you don't see anything wrong with Gail's remarks, then you know what? Snoop Dogg's response applies to you as well. You know? It's like, y'all some sensitive ass motherfuckers. Just point blank, period. Oh, he called her a dog-faced bitch and this, that, and the fifth. But yet and still, you have female artists who publicly address themselves and other females as bitches. But furthermore, what I do notice is females like Jada Pinkett Smith, females like her aren't sitting down with these females and having this open dialogue with them about calling themselves bitches and other women bitches. I'm just I notice this when, if we happen to come out and respond to a female as a bitch, it becomes an issue. It becomes suddenly it becomes an open dialogue for us to, oh, we have to talk about this. Jada brought Snoop on the show, totally alleviating the cause of Snoop's response. My thing is, you cannot, and I repeat this, you cannot address an issue without getting to the core. If you refuse to get to the core of the issue, then you're doing the disjustice to even have open dialogue. How is it Jada Pinkett Smith going to have an open dialogue, only partial of the issue, but not the issue as a whole? That's ass backwards. Why are you even having this open dialogue, Jada? It's like, come on now. You smart, but you're still coming up short. And this is not to insult Jada Pinkett Smith's intelligence, because that's not me. That's not what I do. Jada is one of the most phenomenal black women that I have met. Now, do I agree with some of her approaches? No. But I still respect her as a melanated woman. I do. But sometimes you just have to be called out on your shit. And honestly, I feel Jada needs to be called out. Like, seriously. I understand some people are just like, oh, I wouldn't do that, and just and feel. I'm just like, stop being so goddamn fearful. It's like some of our people need to be corrected. Again, we have a tendency, we like to put celebrities on these high, pedestals, as if they can't say or do anything wrong. I'm just like, fuck you mean? Now, this is just me. I'm on the outside looking in, so I'm listening to the whole, I'm listening to the interview, and I'm just like, you cannot talk to Snoop and say, oh, I felt you took you took power from me. I was like, Jada, he wasn't even talking about you. He was talking about Gayle. You are not Gayle. Just because you two are both women, I mean, come on, Jada. Think. My thing is, if Jada did not have an interview with Lisa Leslie, if she didn't have an interview with Kobe Bryant discussing, or anyone for that matter, discussing the sexual rape allegations. Again, fucking rape allegations. Just because you have allegations against you does not mean that you committed the crime. It's just hearsay. We've been dealing with this shit for I don't know how many goddamn years. And you telling me that this bastard language, English, y'all still don't understand? It's like, come on, man. You can have the best degree in the country, but still stupid as fuck. It's like, come on now. Y'all serious? Y'all riding Snoop's neck about him calling Gayle a dog-faced bitch. I was like, well, shit, she is. I understand, I understand Brother Farrakhan, he supports Snoop and his speech. No, he wouldn't, he doesn't approve of calling a black female a bitch. But my thing is, thinking about it, it's like, wow, you indirectly dog the shit out of a black man. Like, this shit ain't new. So Snoop called it as he saw it. But of course, we live in a society where a lot of negative actions, behaviors, and responses are not being, coming from black females like Gayle and Oprah. They are not being checked. They're not being checked. They're not being criticized and ridiculed. They're not. And as if it's wrong for us to speak up when we're being attacked. When we are being generalized and stereotyped. It's like if we speak up, we're being jumped on. Like, oh, you just crying. You just crying. And this, that, and the fifth. I'm just like, well, if I'm crying, what the fuck you doing? If I'm crying, what the fuck are you doing? The same shit. I love open dialogue, but with that open dialogue, you have to be willing to get to the core of the issue. Jada Pinkett Smith did not get to the core of the issue at all. I'm like, you want to get to the core of the issue? Have Gayle come on your show and sit at the round table and question her. Ask her why. Why, out of all the times, would you pick this time to start discussing Kobe's rape allegations? It's like, you've been in photos with Kobe. Gayle, Oprah, these individuals had the opportunity to sit down and have this open discussion with Kobe Bryant. I mean, hell, Gayle didn't have a problem getting into that interview with R. Kelly before he got locked up. You notice that, right? This is just me. And I felt that if Gayle really and truly wanted to have this conversation, she would have had this conversation with Kobe. But instead, she waited until the man lost his life along with his daughter and close friends. It's like, you dumb as fuck. Like, my thing is, I'm not, nor will I ever be that type of individual that will backtrack on his words unless I spoke something incorrectly. I don't mind correcting myself. But I'm going to call you as I see it. Everyone's like, oh, don't you have a mother? And this, that, and fifth. Would you call your mother a dog face bitch, and this, that, and fifth? I was like, ha! I was like, see, that's the difference. I was like, first and foremost, my mother is a goddess, all right? She will not sit up here and throw black men under the bus for any sort of financial gain, because she understands that's a real weak-ass move. She understands that we are human beings. We're not perfect. at all. We make mistakes. Some of our mistakes are greater than others. But in any sense, she's not going to throw anyone under the bus. Period. She's not throwing black men under the bus because she understands that black men is what keeps balance. A black woman by herself is not balanced. That is why you have man and you have woman to create that balance. We live in a society where it is so fucking unbalanced, and we see it every single day. We see it every single day. When a man and a woman are together, there's balance, there's harmony, there's joy. Now, can a man and a woman be involved and there still be imbalance? Yes. Because psychologically, emotionally, or mentally, that male isn't right. All right. Psychologically, emotionally, mentally, that female is not right. So if you get involved with a person who's irrational and they're all over the place, but you are, how should I say it? You are comforting and nurturing and loving and understanding and willing to listen and to learn. You're part of that balance. You are the opposite end of that balance. So you have to have that counter so you can have that balance between you and your partner collectively. Again, Jada is, Jada, she filed out with me. It was just like, yo, that you gonna focus in on someone taking your power. No one can take your power back. Because if you're telling me that what Snoop said, even though he went back and apologized, which I love Snoop. Snoop is a great guy. Get your balls back, Snoop. Like, for real. Get your nuts back, homie. Stop allowing people to force you to go back on your words. Now, at the end of the day, you have to live your life for yourself. You can't live your life for anyone else. You can't. So mean what you say and say what you mean. Stand on your word. Because you'll find yourself apologizing for every little single solitary thing. And this whole terminology, bitch this and bitch that, and ooh, he called her a bitch, he called her a dog-faced bitch. But we live in a society, where that term bitch is being glamorized by other black females in their music, in a public forum, when they speak. They bitch this, I'm that bitch, and I'm that bitch. That is like, you can't talk about men using that same terminology and how damaging and how power draining it is, but then you turn around and you address your sisters. You address one of your sisters in the same way, with that same energy. It's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, stop it. Don't tell me, you know what? That's like using that same terminology, like, oh, nigga, oh, that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's my nigga. It's like, wait a minute. If that terminology is not a positive terminology to use, then all right, then fine. We shouldn't use it at all. But guess what? It still gets used fluently every single day. I still use it. I still use it because it's like I'm addressing, sorry about that, I'm addressing some of the ignorant black males and black females. Period. Again, I understand there are some people who will feel like, but he was wrong. There's no buts. There's no buts. Now, if you're going to start making this terminology of addressing females as a bitch when they're acting and behaving like female dogs, then I need you to have that same energy to address this same issue with your own sisters. And I guarantee you, Jada will not have an artist on her show. I guarantee you, Jada won't have a Nicki Minaj on her show. She won't have Nicki Minaj on her show. She won't have Cardi on her show. She's not going to have these types of artists who address other women and themselves as a bitch. It's like, if you're not going to address the issue as a whole, don't address the issue when we are using a terminology that's being used every single day by women. And I understand there's going to be some individuals who's like, oh, there he go. He wanna say this just because we said it and this, that, and the fifth. I'm just like, no, right is right, wrong is wrong, correct? All right. So when you're wrong, black men can't be wrong by themselves. Black men can't be wrong. You can't sit up here and look me in my face and tell me that everything, when we do things or say things, that, oh, you were wrong for that. But then the same actions and behaviors that are coming from black females, it's like you're solid. And this is what leads people into thinking that, hey, you're willing to uphold the actions and behaviors of a black female, you will uphold their actions and their behaviors and try and justify what they did or what they said as being, oh, okay, well, in her case, it's okay. But then turn around and look at us and it's just like, no, you shouldn't have done that. Regardless of what triggered you, you still shouldn't have done that. It's like, fuck, man, get the dog fuck face out of here with that shit. I am so serious. But, again, this is the type of society that we live in. This is the society that we live in. Ass backwards and twisted at the same goddamn time. Just so ass backwards. But, what can you say? What can you say? So, leave your comments below. Give the video a thumbs up. Share with someone else. And let's get a different perspective on that, on that particular interview. So in the meantime, in between time, as I always like to close out my vlogs, your joy and happiness belong solely unto you. Stop giving your joy and happiness away to undesirable individuals. Your joy and happiness belongs to you. Your joy and happiness belongs to you. That's part of your sanity. That's what gets you up in the morning and you're smiling, you're radiant, you're glowing, you're energetic, you're smiling. This belongs solely to you. So, in the meantime, in between time, I love you all. You have a great morning, and I'll talk with you soon.